Hello, this is Tanya Mavros here with my wonderful wife Stevie, and today we are outside of Case Credit Union where we are going to be doing tiny mic interviews with families because they are here for the Family Financial Fair at Case. And so we want to ask them, how do you have financial conversations and discussions within your family, and how do you have those conversations within the relationship? And if you're not, what can we do to help you facilitate that? So let's see what people have to say. I have Richard here who has brought his two daughters to the Case Credit Union Family Finance Fair. And so the question that we're really asking people is, how do you talk about finances within your family?
Well, we just try to let our children know that it's important and to start early on saving.
Mhm.
It's better to be a saver than a borrower,
Yeah.
and just trying to get them to learn the basics about saving early on so
Yeah.
that they can get a good start when they become adults.
Yeah.
But when you bring them to events like this,
Yeah.
it makes them less apprehensive, but eventually they'll see that it's for their best and in their future.
I'm here with Adara and Eliana, and they are sisters, and their dad, Richard, has brought them in. Actually, we talked to your dad a little bit earlier today. And so we wanted to ask you guys, we wanted to get the kids' perspective. How do you guys feel about talking about money in your household?
Feel nice learning something new and being able to use it later when I grow up.
Talking about money and what you get with it, what has been one of the coolest things you've been able to do with money so far?
Probably candy.
Candy, okay. And then Adar, what about you? What has been one of the best things you've been able to purchase because of learning about money?
We were able to save up for a vacation. Went to Florida and then Disney World.
What was your favorite thing about Disney?
The rides.
The rides?
Seeing all the cool stuff, like to actually the Disney World. Yeah, the
Yeah,
whole thing.
the whole thing, yeah. How did it feel knowing that you were able to put in the work to be able to go on this big vacation?
Felt good because our work paid off. Being able to save.
Yeah. How do you talk about finances within your household if you do?
Sure, we absolutely do talk about our finances with the children and financial literacy in particular. We try to keep it very realistic and trying to help them understand the cost of things and the value of the dollar, which are two different things.
That is very true.
So we try to engage them in having money making opportunities
Okay.
and being able to then translate that to the real world when it comes to shopping for things that they want and being able to see the price and how that translates. And more importantly, tax. They often forget that. So
okay,
they're
that's
like,
important.
it's only $5. Okay, plus tax. So
Plus tax, yep.
it's really helped us transition into learning fractions and percentages
That's
and other
super
things
cool.
that are really good life skills in general.
Yeah.
So
When you were growing up, did you have a lot of financial conversations in your household? And if so, what was one of the biggest takeaways you had?
good question. So I grew up as an only child until I was 20, and then my mom had my little sister.
Okay.
We did have conversations about
Okay.
checkbook balancing a lot of times. So I remember seeing my mom take time every week to sit down and balance that, and so we
Okay.
kind of talked about what that meant. And as I got older and prepared to be a first-generation college student, had to
Okay.
talk about all things finances at that point. So that was very new.
Yeah. Do you talk about finances within your family, or have you talked about finances within your family?
No, I haven't. So I journeyed here today to educate myself in becoming more financial literate.
Do you have any specific goals that you're working towards in learning this information?
I do have some long-term goals. Number one, the short-term goal is to become more literate with finances, which could be something that I could pass down to my grandchildren.
Okay.
The long-term goal would be to get information on investing, like in a business,
Okay.
because I do have a goal, a dream to open up an animal shelter.
One of the basics to finances is understanding the difference between long-term and short-term goals, and you did that. So what did you learn about finances in your family growing up?
You always have to make sure you have a backup plan for like when you don't have enough or just in case something you don't expect comes around. So always have that backup plan to make sure you can make ends meet type of way.
Okay.
So just saving money, putting some money aside anytime I get paid just to make sure, just in case I ever don't have that job anymore or some unexpected car issue comes around, I can always pay that.
Like, how old were you when you first started learning about finances in your family?
Honestly, I want to say when I first got a job, so that was on like 14, 15. So like, my parents were driving me around, so they wanted me to learn responsibility. So I started paying them like I think $5 to $10 for just driving me around to work. So as gas or getting,
I love
getting me
that.
places, so stuff like that.
Okay.
It's definitely helped me put like bills as a priority rather than just going to spend right away. So I always make sure either my gas, my insurance, and my phone things are always paid before I start spending.
Okay.
So making sure those are out the way before I go.
How do you have financial conversations within your household?
I have financial conversations with Karis. It usually kind of comes up when she wants something
Okay.
or when we go to a store. And it is centered around like, well, we're saving so that we can get maybe more of this. If we can't get this one thing right now today, it's only because we're saving to maybe get more in the future. So it's kind of on a specific basis, I guess you
Okay.
could say.
So we talk about saving when we're at the store. Karis, can you tell me something that you've saved up for that you are really excited about?
I wanted to say something for Hawaii.
She really wants to go to Hawaii
wanna
for
go
our
to
next
Hawaii?
vacation.
Okay.
But how about the dumplings? You like those dumplings right now?
Yes,
So we're saving up money so that she can get another one.
mine broke.
What's a dumpling?
It's like a cool squishy.
Okay. When you were growing up, did you have conversations about finances within your household?
It wasn't not as much as I think I would have preferred. I think that would have set me up for my adulthood a little bit better. I knew to save. I didn't know how to save.
Okay.
I knew to do certain things with my money. I didn't know how to do those things
Okay. Is there anything else that you want little kids to know about money?
You can save the money to get some more money, and when you get all the money that you need, you can still save it, and then when you don't want to save it anymore, you can buy something with it.
Being here at the Financial Wellness Fair, what is one thing that you are taking away with you that you might implement or that you learned today?
Absolutely. So I actually found out about this event through Dr. Darla Bishop. In talking with her, I'm able to come away with some tips and tricks like I was looking for as to how to save money, as to how to maybe get some grants and scholarships, and through my work, through my employers.
Here, Finances is here with Team Love Spark. So, Team Love Spark, why were we at Case Credit Union today?
Because we want to see how people talk about finances within their family and within their relationships, because that is an important topic.
And so, is there anything surprising that came up in your Tiny Mike interviews?
I think the biggest surprising, what do you think?
I don't know that it was surprising, but I loved how many people were telling us that they really didn't have conversations in their families when they were growing up, and so they're making sure to do it now. So I don't know that it was surprising, but I was really, really glad to hear that.
Yes. And like the thing that we teach all the time is like, you think you're not talking about money, but all those conversations where your kids are asking for something or you're helping to decide between this or that, those are money conversations. So keep them going. Thank you so much for coming.
I thank you.